Welcome to episode 9 of Life According to Him. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. I said I was going to be handling trending topics, and that's what we're going to do this time around. Now, I seen some crazy mess recently on CNN Health. They have been finding lead and arsenic and other heavy metals in tampons, which now is turning into an FDA investigation. Now, I ain't got no coochie, very obviously, but I do know people with coochies, love people with coochies, and care about people with coochies. And I think overall, if you can open up your mind, we should be concerned overall as citizens of this country. The fact that we boast being the number one country in the world and so advanced and so rich and so on and so forth, it just blows me away every single time I find out about some shit like this, where things that are illegal or substances or chemicals that are banned in other countries because they are not good for the health and well-being of people is being allowed to be served in food to us, somehow added into topical treatments or beauty care regimens or feminine hygiene products. Really, when you look at this, standing back away from it, it's concerning, because what stops this type of bullshit from happening with other things, not just tampons? So in this situation, in the CNN report that they had posted, there was a study that went on in July. They ended up finding lead and arsenic inside the tampons, and now suddenly the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, is just so concerned and they want to fucking investigate, right? Why wasn't y'all looking into this type of shit beforehand? Ain't that what y'all supposed to be doing? So the thing that's important to understand about lead and arsenic is there are no safe levels of exposure specifically to lead according to the Environmental Protection Agency. So there's no amount of it that you should have in your body. So the study did not test whether or not the metals that were in the actual tampons were being released into the vagina. Now here's my thing. I don't have a vagina, but I think just the ideal period of taking toxic metals and shit and putting it up inside of your pussy, it probably is not something that you would choose to do if on the box the Tampons said these motherfuckers are loaded with lead and arsenic, but they won't absorb into your coochie meat, so don't worry about it. 9 times out of 10, ladies, just chime in down in the comments. Would you be concerned if there was dangerous metals being shoved up into your pussy? Okay, let's just think about who gives a fuck whether or not the study didn't test whether or not the metals were being absorbed into the vagina. And here's the next part, motherfucker. If you're going to test to see whether or not the metals are in the goddamn tampon, what the next concern to see whether or not the shit was actually coming out and being absorbed into the body. Anyways, the study covered 30 motherfucking tampons from 14 brands, both organic tampons and tampons that were non-organic. Now let's go ahead and take the kicker of this. The organic tampons were found to have higher levels of arsenic, while the non-organic have higher levels of lead. So organic is a buzzword in this country, right? You hear organic and you think it's better, it's safe for me, and so on and so forth. Well, you go and pick up a motherfucking organic tampon and shove that motherfucker in your pussy, and come to find out it has high levels of arsenic, higher levels of arsenic than the non-organic tampon. So you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now, the average lead concentration in the tampons was about 10 times higher than the maximum level allowed in drinking water. So 10 times higher than is allowed to be in your drinking water. And if they set a level that's allowed to be in the drinking water, that level will be what's considered to be safe, right? But now you're shoving something up in your ass that's 10 times higher in the content of lead than what's allowed in the drinking water. Let's make it make sense. So the next thing that I wanted to look into is what exactly, if you have all of this stuff going on and you got exposure to lead and arsenic, what are some of the side effects of the exposure, first and foremost, to lead? So there can be neurological effects such as cognitive decline, memory loss, learning difficulties in children, behavioral issues such as irritability and hyperactivity, headaches. So cardiovascular issues you can have due to lead or high blood pressure and heart disease, reproductive system effects, reduced fertility in both men and women. Now, I don't know why a man would be shoving a tampon in his ass, but if you had been, you could be experiencing this if they come to find out that this stuff is leaching out. Also, miscarriages or premature births in pregnant women. That's deep. Kidney damage. So you can have impaired kidney function, gastrointestinal issues such as abdominal pain and constipation, anemia, reduced red blood cell production leading to fatigue, and developmental delays in children. We ain't gonna worry too much about that because you're not gonna be using tampons on children. Arsenic exposure side effects. So we're gonna go into arsenic. There are some side effects of having exposure to this. So skin effects such as skin discoloration or darkening spots, thickened skin or lesions. You can have neurological effects such as numbness in your hands and feet, sensory changes or neuropathy, gastrointestinal issues such as stomach pain, nausea and vomiting, diarrhea. You can have cardiovascular effects such as the increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure. You can also have cancer risks such as long-term exposure increases it says long-term exposure increases the risk of lung, skin, bladder, and liver cancer, immune system suppression, higher susceptibility to infections, respiratory issues, shortness of breath, coughing, and other lung-related problems. So, I don't know, y'all. I'm just blown away every time something like this happens. And I guarantee that when they look into this deeper, the reason behind this stuff being put into these actual products has something to do with saving money or making the almighty dollar, right? We're going to find out that it was some type of way of cutting corners and being able to squeeze every fucking penny out of this production of this product possible. It is absolutely insane to me that still in this country, a lot of times for these companies, they understand that the risk of having a lawsuit and having to pay somebody off because they killed somebody or made them terminally ill or ill in any type of way is cheaper to deal with the side effects of paying fines and paying, lawsuits and so on and so forth, versus leaving the shit in there that they know shouldn't be there, leaving defects in products that they know shouldn't be there, and making a large amount of money, a large enough amount of money that it outweighs any of the downsides of getting caught up behind the shit. So it's disturbing to me. I want you guys to chime in down below. What do you think about lead and arsenic and other heavy metals being found in tampons? Do you feel that the government and these governmental agencies that are supposed to be hierarching organizations that are supposed to make sure that the products that are being served to American citizens are safe and can be trusted, right? Why do we keep running into situations where after the fact, after, shit has hit the fan, after people have been made ill or have died from things, then suddenly now, we want to jump in and we want to regulate and so on and so forth. I think it's absolutely and totally insane for a country that consistently boasts that we are the biggest and the best and so on and so forth, to constantly be exposing citizens to things that are not good for them health wise. It's absolutely insane. So chime in down below. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all like this type of content, y'all want to keep up with what I do next, please make sure that you like and subscribe. It don't cost you shit to support this channel by using them big ass thumbs and smashing the like and subscribe button. Until next time, I holla.